Hello. In this video, we'll be going over IRS CP notice, IRS notice CP01b. This is basically a request for additional information to process your income tax return. Basically, the IRS may send you this notice if you filed your income tax return, but they need more information from you. So unlike a lot of previous walkthroughs, there are a lot of redacted areas here, but basically we can kind of walk through that. And I'm not exactly sure why the IRS chose to redact this form when other versions of similar notices posted on the IRS website don't have these redaction blocks. They simply just have, clearly obvious draft information. But I don't think that will prevent us from being able to walk through this notice and kind of see what information there is to glean from this. So at the top of the form, you'll notice that this notice is labeled CP01b for clearly a tax year that is not in recent history. So 2014, the notice was for February 2nd, 2015. I mean, that's probably another indication that most people do not file their tax returns that quickly in a tax season. So you can kind of tell that this is meant to be a case study or an example from the IRS. So below that would be your social security number and then a phone number to contact the IRS. Over here would be taxpayer information such as your name, address, so on and so forth. As a gentle reminder, if you have recently moved but the IRS does not know where your new address is, it's always prudent to either call the IRS, validate your information, and update your address on file. If you file your tax return, that will also prompt the IRS to update your tax record accordingly. Even if you file an amended tax return, putting your new address on there will update the records. Or you can also file IRS Form 8822, which is the official change of address form. So we'll put links to both 8822, the article and the video that we've created on that, as well as IRS Form 8822-B, which is the change of address form for businesses, and also the change of responsibility form for a business. So if you for some reason have changed addresses, but the IRS has not, doesn't have your address, then they're going to send this notice to your old location, and you may not receive it in time to be able to take the action that you need. So let's walk through this and kind of imagine what the IRS is asking for. So in pretty big, clear print, it says that the IRS is kind of stuck and cannot process your, let's imagine this says 2023 tax return. So this would be the form number, your Form 1040 or what have you, for whatever the tax year is. The IRS needs more information. So you can either go to the website or you can call their toll-free number, which should be posted up here and probably down here. So either of those options, you would walk through, verify your identity, and then give the information that the IRS needs to continue processing your tax return. So you can always check the list of things that you need to do. So if, and there's a reason why this verbiage is in here. So the first thing that you would want to do is possibly check out the Identity Verification Service website. Let's go ahead and click on that and see where it goes. So basically, we go to this. It gives you information on what you should do if you did file a tax return. In that case, the tax return information should be on your notice, it should say what you need. So you're going to need certain information. Now, if you did not file a tax return, then it's possible that the IRS flagged your return as being filed by someone that might not have your permission. So that is kind of one of the top identity theft related scams that happens, is if someone uses your information to file a fraudulent tax return. There are a lot of times when what they'll do is they'll pump up BS or inflated deductions or non-existent items, adjustments to your income, tax credits, things of that nature, and then they'll get the tax refund directed into their account, and then you get stuck with the bill when the IRS catches up and later audits your returns. So if you get this notice, again, it's important that you go back and kind of review this with a fine-tooth comb to see exactly what you need to do. So you either file the tax return, but you didn't provide complete information, in which case a quick phone call or logging into the website should be able to get the information that you need. If you didn't file the tax return, then you may need to contact the IRS and go through that process as it relates to possible identity theft. So if you do call the IRS, it says have last year's tax return information. If you have it, one of the ways that they validate is that they'll ask you to pick certain pieces of information that you would only find on your prior year tax return. So you can authorize someone to do this on your behalf, but the IRS will encourage you as a taxpayer to be available with your representative in case either there are questions that they can't answer or something that the IRS feels they need to make sure that they get from you as a taxpayer. For example, if we start talking about possible identity theft, there might be a slew of questions that your representative would have no idea about. So, and you would designate your power of attorney or representative using IRS Form 2848. We'll put a link to those resources in the show notes. So if you do nothing, the IRS will not process your tax return. It says that right here. Now, the rest of this is basically information about what might happen because the IRS could use a third-party credit reporting company to help them confirm your identity. So this is known as a soft inquiry. A lot of people that are concerned about credit scores may read articles online or sources about how soft inquiries hurt your credit ratings. Over the past 10 or 15 years, the credit reporting industry has really tried to differentiate what might be a soft inquiry, such as this, where it's apparent that the IRS is not trying to look into your credit score to see if they can give you more credit. They're simply looking into your credit score to see if there's mysterious account openings or transactions or things of that nature. So that's a soft inquiry because it doesn't lead to any kind of credit report application or anything like that. So what this says is that what this paragraph says is that the IRS is going to make sure that your tax information is coming from you as the taxpayer and that they're sending everything directly to you. Again, to reiterate, this is one of the reasons why your change of address is so important. So the credit reporting company can use information from your credit report to generate questions for you to answer. If you've ever gone through and gotten your annual credit report, sometimes they'll ask you previous addresses or previous phone numbers or cars that you might have used, all of which are questions that they can pull from your credit history. So this action creates a soft inquiry. The IRS cannot use this soft inquiry to actually look at your credit report, and the credit reporting company can't review your tax information. So That's kind of important for you to know. So again, to reiterate, your soft inquiry doesn't impact your score. It only appears on the credit report that where they did the identity verification, and then it comes off your report within 2 years. So again, this is a notice that says, hey, we need more information, but if you didn't file this tax return, we wanted to let you know that someone did, so that you can take the appropriate action. So let's go to this page, the CP01b, and it turns out that the IRS, for some reason, doesn't have a link to that. So sometimes these links are broken. There generally is a what to do if you receive a blank notice, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. So understanding your CP01 notice is as close as it is. So CP01, there's several different versions. You can see all of the ones that we've created so far on the YouTube channel. But if you get a CP01 notice, whether it's got an A, B, C, or anything at the end, generally that refers to identity protection, and that's something that the IRS is taken very seriously. So again, if you get this notice, it doesn't necessarily mean anything bad per se, but it does mean that you should pay attention, kind of walk through the steps that the IRS has outlined in your particular notice, so that you can verify that either everything is good to go and they're processing your tax return, or this might be the first step in identifying that, hey, someone may have used your identity to file a fraudulent tax return. Let's take the appropriate steps. So we'll put links in the show notes to some of the articles, the resources for forms that we referred to in this video. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments, or if there's a topic that you'd like to hear in an upcoming video, please hit me up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.